Akamfo wakasa bia omokasa se ayana eto a etrebe mabo. So it is somehow unheard of when a man comes out claiming that he's been abused by a woman. But the truth of the matter is there are lots more men out there who are being abused and who are in abusive relationships. They may be abused financially, emotionally, and I dare say sexually as well. My name is Yasapma. I'm going to be your host for this episode of Unscripted series. And today, we are looking at men in abusive relationship. And as usual, I have some amazing guests. I have two men who are going to help me do the discussion. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Welcome to Legendary Capital Event Center. Legendary Capital Event Center is a beautiful event center in Dansoman, Accra. Our event center venue is ideal for hosting events such as weddings and parties. Our beautiful event center in Dansoman is suitable for conferences, corporate programs, and various events. We provide a stunning and serene environment that helps create beautiful and memorable moments. Look nowhere else for your next event than Legendary Capital Event Center in Dansoman. You can call the numbers 055-14-77-555 or 055-14-77-444 for more information. Come one, come all for an awesome experience at our
Today we are looking at why men endure abusive relationships. And to do the discussion with me, I have two wonderful gentlemen in the house. Next to me is Dalali.
Hello, yeah.
Hello. How are you?
We did.
Charlie, how has the week been?
Across the by plan, so
this Accra Day by plan.
You know that.
After the show, we will go to
It's not easy, but it's well.
It is. Next to the line is Long. Hi.
Hi.
This voice, yeah, Charlie. It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Yes, and it's always a joy to see you, honestly.
Same here. It's good to be here again.
Thank you for making it. So gentlemen, we are looking at abuse. What was your first reaction to it?
Abuse is a very bad thing, no matter where it's coming from, no matter who is receiving it. It's a bad thing. And today we are speaking about men, so I'll say that for men, abuse is something that sets us down. It takes away some form of self-worth from us. It gives us stress, especially when you can do something about it, but due to one thing or the other, you are held back from reacting. You know, it takes away all the machoism, the manism in you, and you just cow in and become something small just because for one reason or the other, you know, somebody has taken it upon herself, usually your wife or your girlfriend, to, you know, mete out some unfair, you know, words, attitude, physical, you know, attacks or interaction with you. But on the whole, it's not a good thing, no matter who is.
All right, Lom. So if it's taking this much from men, why are you not talking about it?
Well, according to some research that I looked at before coming here, you have to appreciate that about every 1 in 4 men would have been abused at some time in his life. And these are even reported cases. Very often when we hear about abuse in the domestic settings or in relationships, it's the women or the women who are more of the victims here, but men are victims too of abuse. And like Delali said, the abuse can take various forms. I think the problem with the reportage or coverage on abuse suffered by men is the fact that, inherent in it is this deep-seated societal orientation that man does not complain, should not complain, and also the fear of the victims to be stigmatized by society. What form of man are you to be abused by your wife or your girlfriend? That's like the first question. Everybody expects a man to be, manly, be a bit violent, if I can put it. But the whole thing, a man, a man should be bold, should be strong and face whatever stands in his way, or whoever stands in his way. And it's easier to think that all men are like that. But then, on the other hand, too, society now is also teaching and encouraging men who are perceived to be the stronger sex to exercise some restraint when dealing with their partners, women in most cases. And so now the man is caught up in the middle between reacting to abuse as a defense mechanism or as a form of expression of his manliness, and also exercising restraint, as a general response, which we are being taught now. So we are telling men that you do not beat a woman, but I think we are failing to tell a woman that you do not beat a man. Or you do not abuse a man, verbally. I don't know. I'm sure we'll come back to that. But so the men are caught up in the middle. How do I respond to this? This is not right. This is abuse. But how do I respond? Should I react physically? Should I meet the form of abuse with the same type of abuse I'm getting to? Or should I just take it in like a man?
Now, Dala, if what Long just explained is how complex the man's situation is, why do we tend not to believe the man when he's finally able to come out to talk about abuse? It looks like for most times, so then it goes to buttress the fact that it will go unpunished, because when I don't even believe in it, for me to go through, to investigate, to met out some punishment to the person that is giving the abuse. Why then do we not believe the man when he's able to muster courage and come out and talk about the abusive situations?
Yeah, you look at a man, probably look at his spouse or his partner, you see the physical difference. Then you find it very difficult to understand how probably the woman is smaller than him, how she was able to dish out physical abuse on the man. It's unheard of. Nobody's going to believe it, because macho man, then small woman beat you. It doesn't make sense. So even the man himself can't even bring himself to even report it in the first place, because people are going to laugh at him. You see? And that is what needs to stop. A man's decision not to react to a woman's attack doesn't mean he's soft. But society has taken it that a man who doesn't react when a woman dishes out abuse is a softie. When he reacts in equal measure, he's an abuser.
He's a bully.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if, for instance, a man goes to report even to the police that his wife is abusing him, they go like, Bema pan ojinaho, I'm obabo. They'll say, you go and tell friends, they'll laugh at you. Then someone will start giving you advice. Masa, you be man, no. If she hit you, hit them some. That leads to the man taking things into his own hands and dishing out his own version of abuse, which will, at the end of the day, tend to be a bad thing for the man. But meanwhile, he was at the receiving end, and he just did what humans naturally do: react to situations.
If I may, I mean, I'm just trying to imagine this thing. Imagine a man walking to a Dovsu office and reporting that his wife has been sexually abusing him. I mean, how would the Dovsu officers react to a situation like that? Probably laugh him out of the office.
Yeah, there's been cases where people have complained that, I mean, you go to police stations or Dovsu offices, and the first reaction is laughter.
Yeah.
Before they actually realize, oh, I'm in a position not to even laugh at you. So that's rather unfortunate, especially when it even comes from your circle of friends. As men.
You would be shocked to know that even within the same circle of friends, there are a lot more going through similar or even worse situations at home, you know, and they're also just handling like that. So, like you said, it's about time society got to come to terms with the fact that, okay, sometimes the victim is not always the man. Okay, we have had so much of the story where the man is the perpetrator, you know, and so we seem to have been conditioned a particular way to look at abuse, that it's that one thing that a man metes out to the woman. But no, abuse is abuse, regardless of whoever is meting it out. And sometimes the perpetrator can be the woman. Okay, there are sexual abuse, okay, where they either withhold sex for unreasonable reasons, sometimes as a form of punishment, or sometimes they can even make it as a reward. Yeah, reward. Okay, so if you do X, Y, Z to me, sometimes maybe the man is probably not in a position to do it at that time, but no, you would have to find a way of getting it done. Then you get sex as a reward for that. When sex within,
It is.
Very crazy.
Okay, so let's go into what abuse is, how we can get to know. Often when we say abuse, the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is physical abuse. But I think that for most people suffer more than just physical abuse. So when a man walks to you're checking his body, but your face looks fine, your skin, you don't have any broken bone. I don't want to believe you. What are some of the traits that, and I'll start with you, Long.
Okay.
What are some of the traits that we can look at to know that I'm traveling a path that I need to be careful about, else I go into an abyss where it will be difficult?
So, like you rightly said, sometimes it's not physical. It's not always physical. And these traits are both ways. From if it was a woman that was at the receiving end of it, the characteristics would be the same as it is for the case of the man. So, well, we can consider something like low self-esteem. Okay, because continuous abuse chips away your confidence over time. Okay, it makes you feel less. You know, some people have to check out. Some men have to check out every decision they need to take with their wives. It's not wrong. It's healthy. You know, if you need to just do a cross check, at least keep her in the loop. That is what I'm going to do. Okay, but if you can't, you know, we under the fear that, okay, well, if my wife answered about this, man, you are toast. Okay, and so then you begin to wonder, like they say, who wears the trousers in the house? Okay, if I don't want to make it look like a matter of power, but then abuse is a matter of power.
Okay, sometimes we as men identify women who can be or who are potential abusers, but because we feel we are men, we overlook that as a red flag when we are entering a relationship with such people. During the courtship period, sometimes you realize how she reacts to situations, how her anger level goes. I've experienced that before, and it was a mistake I did. How she gets angry at other people. I overlooked it. I thought, well, it wasn't me. So then it started hitting me. The slightest thing, anger here, insults there, you know, then you ask yourself, why, how? That is also something men miss. Another thing too is this. Unfortunately, sometimes we get our spouses, as our partners, the females, having a form of vengeful, how would I put it? They become vengeful due to our inactions. Maybe a man has, or I have gone to, slide on the side. She's gotten to know about it. Then I have repented. But as a result of my action, she becomes abusive. She either withholds sex, becomes very disrespectful, speaks to me anyhow because you went to do it. You want her to stay. So she becomes a beast on you. That is also a trait.
Okay, so hold your thoughts. When we come back, I'm going to find out from you two what goes through your mind or what goes through a man's mind. Since you've also have previous cases of abuse when all these things are happening. So, viewers, we're going to have a breather at this point and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Legendary Capital Event Center. Legendary Capital Event Center is a beautiful event center in Dansoman, Accra. Our event center venue is ideal for hosting events such as weddings and parties. Our beautiful event center in Dansoman is suitable for conferences, corporate programs, and various events. We provide a stunning and serene environment that helps create beautiful and memorable moments. Look nowhere else for your next event than Legendary Capital Event Center in Dansoman. You can call the numbers 055-14-77-555 or 055-14-77-444 for more information. Come one, come all for an awesome experience at
And as you know, we are discussing today why men endure abusive relationship. It's been very informative so far. So I'm going back to Lom and Dela. But I'll start with Dela. Dela, we've been having some good discussion so far.
Yeah, sure.
Now, for a man that goes through abuse, what goes through their minds? What goes through your mind?
Well, so many things go through the mind of a man. First, he asks himself, why? Is it me? Because sometimes, the abuse can be so serious, especially the verbal ones, the insults. I know somebody who can insult you that much for your spirit to actually leave your body, to ask yourself, is it me that is being insulted this much? And it breaks you. Sometimes when that happens, you can't even do anything at all. So, because here lies somebody you love so much, and the person raining insults on you. You can't even get angry. Even if you can even break down and cry. Or maybe when you leave that space, you go and then, take a retrospect of whatever has happened, and then you break down and cry. You lose some form of self-worth. It's like you're useless. Because every now and then, you are being hit. Barrage of insults, words of discouragement and all hitting you left, center, right. Your self-worth diminishes. Gives you stress. You can be stressed out. At the end of the day, you get BP and all that kind of thing because your mind is always racing. Why is she doing this? Why can't she just, be a calm person? Why is she doing this? And worst case scenario is when you can't even up and leave. So you're enduring. Your sex life diminishes. You get the anxiety, community dysfunction.
Disorders and all that.
Because when it happens like that, you are even afraid to have a normal conversation with the person, because you just don't know what will happen for her to start, hitting you with insults or physically abusing you or anything. So it takes away a lot of confidence in a man. So you find out that even kids who are abused by their parents, boys, look at them as they grow up. The abuse they get from the woman, from their mom, or from their big sisters, or from other women, as they grow up, they live with it, and they become timid. You wouldn't understand why the man has become a timid person, but it is, you go down history, you find out that when he was growing up, where do your door, where do your bar, just because he doesn't like to do giddy giddy. He doesn't want to, come out with, that boldness. He just likes to be assertive to things. But you think that his decision to be assertive makes him a weakling. They always expect us to be aggressive.
Lom, I'll take your thoughts on that, because you've also have some experiences.
So I couldn't help but agree with what was saying. At some point you wonder, are you the problem? Okay, and every victim goes through this. You're always thinking, are you the one causing this? What could you be doing? What am I doing to make her treat me this way? Understand? The disrespect, the insults, sometimes it's financial, and sex and all that. Okay, so in the mind of the victim, you think you are rather the perpetrator, and that if you behaved properly, okay, if you just, when I was having some of these experiences, I thought there were days I would look myself in the mirror and then try and walk, because she was always complaining about how I was walking.
To find out if there's
anything wrong, so I'm asking my friends, do I walk, yeah. Okay, and I asked myself, is there anything wrong? I mean, here's someone I could actually go out with to the Accra Mall, and then we'll go for dinner, and then, just a normal thing. People take pictures, and then, yeah, this is the woman of my life or something. So I just put it online. And then I wake up the next morning, and she's called me several times throughout the night, because she's received calls from people like, oh, this guy posted you. We saw your photo on Lom's wall or something, okay? And then she calls me, she's like, which picture did you put up there? And then I shared up, oh, this is a photo. I mean, yesterday's dinner, we had this. Will you take that picture down? Will you take that picture down? What do you have to put my picture on? And I'm like, what is wrong? There's nothing wrong with this picture. You're a very pretty young lady. There's nothing wrong with the photo. I just put it up there, just, I mean, the people we love, we show them forth to, you understand? And then something as petty as that. Okay, something as petty as that. And then when you look across the fence, people are actually worrying their boyfriends to post their photos online. You understand? But something as petty as this becomes a big issue in my relationship, because my girlfriend is wondering, why on earth did you put a picture of me out there?
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, Lom, I want to find out. So, at what point do we draw a line? Sometimes it's not as though, it may be an unconscious, not to hold breath, but sometimes it may be an unconscious behavior trait. Yeah. So at what point are we drawing the line that maybe it's a flaw in my behavior, my behavioral pattern? It's not necessarily that I want to mete out some abuse to you. So at what point are we drawing the line that no, this is way past a behavioral flaw and you are actually abusing me?
Well, I think we need to recognize that it comes down to responsibility. Okay, it comes down to responsibility. If the form of abuse, whatever form of abuse you are having to endure as a man in a relationship, is causing you to begin to rethink about your self-worth, then you must understand that your abuser is more than just a character flaw. You understand? Because then now, see, if you react to it then you also become now something you are not.
Yeah.
Understand? I mean, often you hear people say, oh, this person is a very calm person.
Or he was.
He was a very calm person. Okay, this guy, this is how, and personally, if I do say so myself, I want to become a really very calm person on a very good day, and try to be considerate towards the people I'm engaged with, okay? But if after enduring patterns, sessions of abuse from those who supposedly love me, okay, and then I notice that, no, now I'm becoming vengeful, I begin to think about which other ways to repay back this form of abuse, or how I can handle this thing and probably cause harm in return, then you should know that what you are becoming is just as equal to the person who is dishing out the abuse to you.
All right, but how do we seek help? Because in all of this, we cannot stay in an abusive relationship. So how do we seek help as men?
There are so many ways we can seek help. We can speak to people. When I say people, I'm talking about counselors. Maybe somebody your spouse really admires, and you go speak to that person, let the person know that this is what is happening in your relationship, and it's taking a toll on the relationship and yourself.
You know the funny thing about that? That could also even lead to some other form of abuse.
Yes.
So you've gone out to talk about our trash out there.
But you see, the good thing is that you have been able to come out of your shell to speak about it. So whenever she messes up again, people will know that you didn't just come to blow hot air. You actually came to speak on something that is actually occurring. Men can go to police and report the abuse. They target domestic violence to with emotional abuse. Yes, we can go there. We should not be afraid of being ridiculed. It's your life. The abuse can cause you to actually commit suicide. Suicide doesn't necessarily mean going to hang yourself or take a gun and blow your brains out. You get BP, you can get stroke out of it because your mind is racing. It can actually take down your productivity at work. At the end of the day, what happens?
You'll be sacked. You
are sacked, then your trouble there, you don't gas finish. So we should be able to go to the police if it gets out of hand, speak to family, counselors, people our partners revere, and let them know that this is what is happening in the relationship.
Your final word.
Yeah, society needs to understand that it's not all the time that the abuser is male. The abuser can be a very nice, well-made up woman too. And we need to have the capacity, when we are discussing this topic of abuse at home, we need to make room for that that position or that compartment that talks about the man as a victim. Okay, and so that when the man comes out there to speak up about this, to seek help about this, we don't ridicule such man and make him think he's less of a man because he's talking about what his experiences are. Okay, and then if any man chooses to live a marriage or live a relationship based on abuse, okay, he should be encouraged to do so, and not made to sit in and endure it, okay, and lose his sanity whilst doing it.
Indeed, the man is not to be made to endure it and lose his sanity whilst doing it. Abuse is real, and it's not only women who face these situations or who are in these situations. There are lots more men out there. We are encouraging everyone who is in any form of abuse. Do not sit on it. Do not be shy about it. Go out there, report to the police, report to DOSU. And then we are also asking everyone in the society, let's support ourselves. Let's support the men most, especially, that when they report cases of abuse, we take it as serious as we do take that of women. Abuse is not good for anyone. You only have one life to live. And if you must do it and enjoy it. It's been a wonderful, informative discussion here on Unscripted series. My guests have been Delali and Lom. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming through. And I've been your host. My name is Iya Sapuma. Until we come your way next time, it's here on the Unscripted series.
Welcome to Legendary Capital Event Center. Legendary Capital Event Center is a beautiful event center in Dansoman, Accra. Our event center venue is ideal for hosting events such as weddings and parties. Our beautiful event center in Dansoman is suitable for conferences, corporate programs, and various events. We provide a stunning and serene environment that helps create beautiful and memorable moments. Look nowhere else for your next event than Legendary Capital Event Center in Dansoman. You can call the numbers 055-14-77-555 or 055-14-77-444 for more information. Come one, come all for an awesome experience at our beautiful event